energy levels into a state for meditation. Does that make sense? So that's what we're going to try to do as I'm explaining all this. So the mantra that I wanted us to start with is a very popular mantra, and it is the Loka Samasta Sukhino mantra. And you don't have to, if you're not comfortable with verbally chanting it, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it means as well. But you can also mentally use these mantras so they can really help us concentrate, go deeper into our practice. And that mantra means, may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. So it's just a really beautiful thing to, I think, practice and have in our lives. I'm going to, because I had just emailed Anu, but I'm going to put this mantra into the chat so you can see it. The other thing with mantras is they are not sung, they are chanted, which is great for someone like me because I do not have, I'm totally toned up. Nobody wants to hear me try to sing. It's horrible. And so chanting is different than singing. So I went to go ahead. Oh, I couldn't hear you.
We're hearing your echo.
What's that?
We were hearing your echo.
Oh, is it echoing to you guys?
Not now, but earlier it was.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Thank you. Okay. All right, I just put that in the chat. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. The other thing about mantras is they can be chanted differently depending on the school of yoga or the where you're from, right? So it's different accents, different dialects, that type of thing. So if you already know this mantra and you use it in your practice, and the way that I do it is different, that's okay. You can, like I said, you can do it on your own. You can repeat it mentally. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna start in a seated position today. So we'll get comfortable with our seat. We'll have our regular props around. So we wanna be comfortable. And we'll do this just for like maybe a minute. It's not a long time. And the mantra, the part of the mantra is that you repeat it over and over and over again. And in and of itself, it becomes a meditation, a way to focus the mind and concentrate. So it is, and I'll go over it with you. And then, like I said, we'll just do it for about a minute. And again, it means may all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. So that's just a basic definition of that mantra. And the words are Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. So I'll start. We want to still sit in our posture. So we want to be sitting up nice and tall. We want to be rooted in our sit bones. So we'll get comfortable here. And we may close our eyes. We can also apply chin mudra, which is very common mudra to use in our meditation, which means several different things. One is wisdom, knowledge, and bringing our individual consciousness to the universal consciousness. You may bring your palms up or down, sitting up tall through the crown of the head. Let's just take a moment. You can close those eyes so we can direct our attention inward, make any adjustments that we need to here in the beginning. So if we need to adjust our props, our seat, our surroundings, go ahead and do so. And just start to feel the body, notice the physical body. Let the whole body relax. But continue to sit up as tall as possible through the crown of the head. Notice the breath, just our natural breath moving in and out through the nose. Allow that breath to go a little deeper into the body. Notice the expansion and contraction of the body with the breath. And then I will begin chanting the Loka Samasta mantra. If you'd like to verbally join in, please do so. Or you can just concentrate on the meaning of those words. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 At this point, if we want to adjust our seat, we can. You can keep your eyes soft or closed. We'll do a little bit of our pranayama practice. So switching up the cross of the legs might be a good idea. We can keep our hands in Shin Mudra. Be mindful of your posture. If you've started to slouch, keep your spine tall and erect. So we'll go for Nadi Shodhanam now. We've done this in the past. This is our alternate nostril breathing. Really beneficial pranayama physically, mentally, and emotionally. You might have already noticed that one side is breathing a little bit more openly than the other in our nostrils from left to right. So this pranayama helps clear our sinuses. It helps bring that flow of air into balance and helps balance our nadis, our energy flow throughout our body and ourself. So taking your right hand, you will make the Nasagra Mudra. So it starts by making the peace symbol, and then you'll bring the index finger and middle fingers together, and your thumb, ring, and pinky will be our pinching fingers. Turning the right hand towards the face, take the index finger and middle finger and place it the third eye center. So this is an acupressure point at Agnya Chakra. It also literally just keeps our head up. Lightly place the thumb on the outside of the right nostril and the ring and pinky finger on the outside of the left nostril. To begin, inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Now close the right nostril with the thumb and inhale just through the left. Close the left, open the right, and exhale. Inhale back through the right. Close the right, open left, exhale. That's one round. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale. Inhale right. Close right, open left, exhale. That's 2 rounds. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Close right, open left, exhale. That's 3 rounds. Try to move for about 3 more rounds at your own rhythm and pace. If your right arm is getting tired, take your left hand under the right elbow to help prop it up. Be very mindful of your posture. If one side is more clogged than the other, just do your best to breathe through it. When you're on your last round, you should finish that round by exhaling through the left nostril. When you get there, we'll keep our eyes closed. We'll bring the hands back down to the knees and just pause for a moment, focusing our internal gaze at that third eye center. To help concentrate, you can focus on the breath, Agnya chakra, or repeat a mantra over and over again. The next breath in, bring the hands together in front of the heart into Anjali Mudra. The eyes are still closed. And then take those hands and start vigorously rubbing them together. Try to create some heat in those hands. It's chilly out there. Warm them up. And when you start to feel that heat in the hands, we'll palm the eyes. So you make 2 cup shapes, round the hands, and seal the eyes off. So we're not pressing on the eyeballs. We're creating 2 warm, dark pockets. And this is quite soothing for our eyes. So this is a really nice thing to do throughout our day whenever our eyes feel strained or fatigued. Now you can start to spread the fingertips slightly, let some light in, and start to blink the eyes open with the hands still covering the eyes. And then once we bring our awareness back to the outside, take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, we'll relax our hands back down. So it's time to start moving and going into our asana practice now. So bring those knees up, give those legs a quick little stretch and a wiggle. And we're gonna move ourselves around on our mat so that we end up in child's pose. But quickly, I want you to look at my screen and I'm gonna show you outside because it started to snow and it's really beautiful. And I want you guys to see Can you see the big snowflakes? It's so pretty. All right. I hope you could see that. I just had to share that with you. All right, so time to move into asana. So child's pose. We'll resituate ourselves on our mat. Use your props accordingly. So if you're going to sit back on a pillow, a blanket, you're more than welcome to do so. I want the head supported, so if we need to bring our hands underneath the forehead, a prop, that's totally fine. Knees can be wider than the hips, big toes touching. Hands may be extended, spread the fingers wide, reach those index fingers to the front corners of the yoga mat. Drawing those sit bones back and down to whatever degree is available to us. Then allow the heart to sink towards the floor. We should have space for the abdomen here. Feel the body, feel the breath moving in the body. Feel the breath moving in the back side of the body. Now, if you want to incorporate Ujjayi Pranayama through this practice, you may. Ujjayi Pranayama is that slight contraction in the base and back of the throat. It creates that ocean-like sound, vibration. It should not be strained. It should not strain our vocal cords, but it does create this whisper-like sound. So for some practices, we use Ujjayi for meditation. We use it for concentration, and we can also use it to energize the body throughout our asana practice. Let's all take one more breath in Balasana, child's pose. On the next inhale, we'll float the head up and we'll bring our body up. We'll come right into our tabletop position, so stack those joints, bringing the knees underneath the hips, spread those fingers wide still. Let's tuck our toes under and give those legs a stretch. So stretch the right leg out, bring that foot to the floor, press the weight through that back heel to open up the eye of the knee. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, bring the right knee down. Give that left leg a nice big stretch. Now, do pull into those lower abdominal muscles. Keep your low back and hips level to the ground and equal weight in the hands. And your arms should be nice and strong. Breathe it in. Exhale, bring that knee down. Let's loosen up the back with our cat-cow. So on the inhale, relax the belly. Lift and lengthen from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. On the exhale, draw the belly in, round the back up to the ceiling, scoop the tailbone under, chin moves towards the chest, drishti moves towards the belly button. Now try to even this breath out. So we're also going to start applying our Samavritti Pranayama. So an equal breath. So if you're inhaling for a count of 3, you'll take your back bend. And then try to exhale, scoop and round for a count of 3. If we want to spend more time in one of these, do so. You can breathe several breaths in a cow or a cat position. Get those pelvic tilts in there. And then we're going to bring it back into a neutral position. So we are going to start with our Surya Namaskar. We'll start with our low flow version and then gradually build from there. So Surya Namaskar is a great way to start our day. It works the whole body. It improves our coordination, our strength, incorporates the breath with the movement. So we'll walk our way towards the back of our yoga mats. We're still on tabletop, toes are tucked under. Walk those hands about 1 hand's distance forward so the arms are more of an angle. Make sure you're connected to the core, so draw on through those abdominal muscles. On our inhale, we're going to glide forward to our kneeling plank. If you're not sure you're in the correct position, hover your knees just for a moment, and you should be in full plank. That is the alignment there. Now, it's really important to keep the spine and head in alignment. On the exhale, bend your elbows back, not out to the sides of your yoga mat. The upper arm bone should graze your rib cage as we lower all the way down through Chaturanga Dandasana. The chin is forward, point the feet, plant the feet, keep them wider than your hips if you take care of your low back. Inhale, breathing, use the strength of your back to lift up into Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Elbows should be pulling back, shoulder blade should be pulling back and down. The crown of the head should be extended forward and up. The legs should be strong, the glutes are active. I add an extra step here. So on the exhale, we come back down to the ground. We tuck our toes under, scoop that tailbone under, and push up. Inhale, kneeling plank. On the exhale, we're gonna take our bow. So you're just gonna bow back. We may pop the palms up if our wrists need a little bit of a break. Drive the fingertips into the ground into Hasta Bandha. The head doesn't need to touch. We're just stretching out our back and giving our arms a break. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, lower down with control. Do not collapse the back. Chaturanga Dandasana from a kneeling position. Inhale, plant the feet, squeeze the muscles of the back, lift up, Bhujangasana. If you have a different Cobra pose you like to practice, you are more than welcome to do so. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Tuck the toes under, pull the low belly in, push up, elbows in, inhaling to your kneeling plank. Exhale, take your bow. Use that breath. Inhale, kneeling plank. Exhale, kneeling, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra pose. Lift the hands up if you want more. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, scoop, push up, kneeling plank. Exhale, take a bow. Keep going, follow your breath. If you need to pause in a child's pose at any time, you can do so. Keep your alignment. So don't rush this slow, controlled movement. It's better to go more slowly with more control, more precision. Good. Be mindful of where your head is in space as well. So often, good, I'm watching you guys. Our head likes to do all the work and our neck, and the body is not actually doing the work. So make sure you're building this upper body strength. Good. We're all gonna do one more round. We're all at a little different part in our flow, and that's fine. Take one more round. At the end of your last round, you're gonna sit all the way back in child's pose and just breathe for a moment. Good, nice alignment. Once we're all back in child's pose, if you want to slide your hands back towards your feet, you can. You can pump your fingertips a little bit if they need a quick break. Hopefully we feel a little warmer. We might feel our heart rate going up a little bit, not so much. That's a pretty gentle flow, but we still will feel it. Next inhale, re-extend those arms forward. We'll bring the body back up to tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Walk your hands one hand's distance forward. Draw the low belly in, and we're gonna lift up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So coming into our first gentle inversion here. Give those legs a nice stretch by pedaling the heels, one heel at a time. There's internal rotation through those forearms, so we're grounding down through the mound of the index finger and thumb. But there's external rotation in the upper arm bones. Roll them away from the ears. Your shoulders should be pulling down your back so that the neck is long and loose. Belly towards the thighs, thighs pressed back towards the back of the room. Look at your feet. Try to create as much symmetry as possible in the feet. And then let's find some stillness in this pose. So sink both heels towards the ground. Doesn't matter if they touch or not. Bend the knees if your back needs a little bit more space, or you have really tight hamstrings and it's pulling your back or rounding your back. Next inhale looks forward and we walk our feet to our hands to our feet, and we choose our version of Uttanasana. So we can stay upside down in a deep forward fold, reaching the fingertips towards the ground or holding onto our elbows. Those of us that modify will bend our knees and place our elbows or hands on our thighs. You're always welcome to come all the way up to mountain pose and wait for us there. Make sure your feet are strong. You can even try lifting up your toes in Uttanasana. Make sure you're using your lower bandhas. So Mula Bandha, our pelvic floor muscles, can be squeezing and lifting Uddiyana Bandha below the navel center. We are going to do our halfway lifts today to strengthen our back some more. So we'll walk our hands to our shins or on top of our thighs. Inhale, squeeze your back to lift the chest and gaze slightly forward. Iron out that back. Good. Exhale, fold. Inhale, strong back, strong core, strong legs. Open the heart. Over exaggerate those shoulder blades coming together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. If you want it, locust those arms beside the body, Shalabhasana, palms facing towards each other. Exhale, fold. Good. One more. Inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze the back. Exhale, we'll sit back into Utkatasana, so bend the knees, bring the hands forward and up. Make sure our knees are pointing straight forward towards our toes. Super strong core here. Head should just be floating on top of the shoulders. Always an option to bring the hands into Anjali Mudra. Focus the gaze on one spot. Try to hover the right foot from the floor. Notice the breath. Bring that foot down, hover the left foot from the floor. Good, bring it down. Maybe try to sink a little further down. Knees point to toes, sit bones sink back. Inhale, reach everything up. Reach up to the ceiling, straighten the legs. Lift your heels up. Create as much extension as possible. We're still balancing here. Want more of a challenge? Look up. Notice the breath. Keep breathing. Next, exhale. Turn your palms out. Float the heels down and the arms down. And we'll meet in Tadasana. If we want to over-exaggerate that heart opening today, we do a hunching, rounding of our back. Turn your palms forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Even pick up those toes and spread the toes. Unlock the knees, standing tall and strong. We should feel like we're Velcroed against a wall here. Notice the breath. Big inhale, draw that big circle, widen up. Add those heels, lift it up. Bring the palms to touch. Exhale, lower down. So now we're going to move into some more Surya Namaskar. This is going to be a little bit more powerful. We'll do a flow that I will add the kneeling lunge as an option. So we have been doing the kneeling lunges and then building up to the standing lunges. But because we spend a little bit more time at the beginning of class, I'm doing some other practices. We're going to go right into our standing, but it's always an option. So we'll come back to the top of our yoga mat if we've moved around. Stand back into Tadasana, nice and tall. Now, ideally, every movement has a breath, an inhale or an exhale. Don't worry about it. If you're taking more breaths to get through the cycle, that's totally normal, totally fine. So don't worry about that, but just do the best that we can. So we're in Tadasana, standing tall in mountain pose to the front of our yoga mat, feet are hips width apart. Inhale, breathing. Utthita Tadasana is extended mountain pose. Reach up. Exhale, micro bend the knees, hinge from the hips, sweep your arms back and around and down. That's better for our back into our forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. This exhale bends the knees and plants the hands, and we take a big step back 1 foot at a time into plank position as you inhale. Remember which foot you're stepping with first, because we always tend to do the same foot, and I want us to learn to switch it up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can do this from kneeling. Drop your knees if your back is collapsing. Bend your elbows back towards the rib cage. No chicken wings. All the way down. Chin forward. Point the toes. Anchor the feet. Inhale. Squeeze the back. Bhujangasana. Cobra pose. Lift up. Exhale. Come back down to the ground. Tuck the toes and the tailbone under. Pull that inner belly in. Squeeze your elbows in. And inhale. Push up. Kneeling or full plank. The exhale, I'm just going to call our resting pose. It might be downward facing dog. It might be tabletop. It might be child's pose. So we all have to decide what our body needs in that moment. Wherever you are, you just pause and breathe. One more breath. Now we're going to take it to our lunges. So on the inhale, look forward, and let's all do the modified version first. Drop down to your knees first. Take your right hand behind your right thigh and safely step your right foot forward. Walk your hands one hand at a time to that thigh bone. You may take your long edge of mat and tuck it underneath your left knee if it needs some extra cushion. Pull the belly in. Come up tall. You may shift your hips slightly forward, left hip forward, stretching through the front of the left hip. Keep breathing. Add the arms if you want a little bit more. Drishti looks upwards, but the neck should stay long, so just don't drop the head back. The exhale brings us all the way back down to the ground. You can take hands to thighs, fingertips. And then either hover the left knee up first or keep it down. Slide the right foot back, plank position. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Point the toes, squeeze the backside. Inhale up, Bhujangasana. Exhale, everything comes back down. Tuck the toes and the tailbone. Elbows in, push up. Kneeling or full plank, take your resting position. Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog, tabletop, or child's pose. And just breathe. One more breath. Modified lunge. Drop the knees down. Step the left foot forward. Take the hand behind the left thigh and safely place it there. Cushion under your right knee as needed. Pull the belly in. Walk your hands up on top of that left thigh. Push it away from you so you open up the hip crease. Hips can shift slightly forward, especially that right hip. Get a stretch here through the hip flexors. Shoulders back and down. Add the arms if we want it. Drishti may move upwards as long as the neck stays long. Good. Big breath in. Exhale. We come all the way back down. Take the steps as needed. Back knee can hover first or stay grounded. Left foot back. You may choose to take your vinyasa. If you need a break, you can sit back in child's pose. Otherwise, exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, back bending. Exhale, come back down to the ground. Pull that belly in, elbows in. Inhale, push up, kneeling or full plank. Exhale to your resting pose, breathe. Inhale, look forward. Baby step, walk feet to hands, hands to feet. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Add the arms if you want. Good. Exhale, we'll all step back into Utkatasana. Adding the arms forward and up. Inhale, reach everything up, including the heels. Turn the palms out. Exhale, float the heels and the arms down. Pause for a moment in Tadasana. Palms may turn forward if you need to work on your posture and strengthen your upper back. So we're going to do one more full round. That was just one round. I am breaking it down. We're going a little bit more slowly, but that was just one round. We're going to do one more round and we're going to build a little bit more. So again, from the top of our yoga mat, Inhale, breathing. Utthita Tadasana, extended mountain. Big stretch up. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Swan dive those arms back down and around. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands. Try to switch which foot you step back with to plank position or kneeling plank. Take your vinyasa. Exhale, lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to your cobra pose. Squeeze the back. Exhale, bring everything back down. Tuck the toes in the tail. Inhale, push up, kneeling or full plank. And then exhale, your resting pose. Breathe. So we're going to come back to our lunge. I'm going to move to it through a modified way. You're welcome to look forward and simply step your right foot forward. If you're like me, we'll drop back down to the knees first. Take our right hand behind our right thigh, bring our right foot forward, and then hover the left knee. And then walk our hands up to our front thigh. Use your core and come all the way up to our high lunge. Now we may need to widen our stance. You can shift yourself around to get your balance. Right knee's lunging over ankle. High lunge is a balancing pose on the ball of our foot. I'll add Virabhadrasana 1 as an option. Arms are going to reach forward and up. If you want to anchor that left heel down, you may turn it in slightly, but try to keep your left hip facing forward into a warrior 1. Gaze may move upwards. We're going to take one more breath here in the pose. And let's all take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to come all the way down. So pop the back heel up. If you need to use your thigh bone, take your time. You can also drop the back knee down as needed. We'll bring the hands down, and you're bringing your right foot back into full plank or kneeling plank. You may always take a resting pose instead. Those of us taking our vinyasa, exhale down through Chaturanga Dandasana. Strong feet, legs, and back. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, back down. Tuck toes and tailbone, elbows in. Inhale, push up, kneeling or full plank. Exhale to our resting pose. Take a couple breaths here, check in with the body and the breath. Other side, inhale, look forward, left foot steps forward, or drop to the knees first. Hand to thigh, safely place your left foot forward. Hover the right knee up. Find your balance, pull the belly in, walk your hands up. And then using the strength of your legs and your core, bring the body all the way up. Good, so we're in a high lunge. Adjust your legs as needed. Hips are squaring forward. Keep pulling front body to back body. Don't hyperextend the back. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, if we want it. Anchor that right heel down. It turns in slightly. One more breath. Now we'll take one more big inhale. Really feel that extension up through the fingertips. This exhale brings us all the way down. Take as many steps as you need. Heel up. Hinge, use your thigh. Back knee can come down as well. Step back. We're in full plank or kneeling plank. You're welcome to take a break or take your vinyasa with control. Don't do it if you're starting to collapse the back, if your elbows are jutting out or anything else. So important to keep that alignment. We're not just going through the motions here. This should be a moving meditation. Good. We'll meet back in our resting pose, down dog, all fours or child's pose, and just breathe. Next inhale, looks forward. Walk the feet and hands, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice strong back. Squeeze those back muscles. Add the arms if you want it. Exhale, sit back, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Knees pointing straight forward, shrug the shoulders from the ears. Big breath in, reach everything up to the ceiling, including the heels up. Lift, 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 tippy toes, even if we're wiggling around. Turn those palms out. Exhale. Pause and mountain pose. Focus the drishti. Observe. Inhale, reach wide and up. Bring those palms to touch. Exhale to our center. So we're gonna go for our balancing pose now. So we did this pose the other day, if you were in class. It is a very powerful pose. Doesn't look like anything necessarily fancy, but if you're practicing it, you know how intense it can be. Especially in my low back people, you need to really modify this pose. I don't do the full pose anymore. It's too much. It pulls too much on my lower back. Doesn't mean you can't try it. I just want you to do so cautiously, mindfully. So we want to grab our yoga straps, our scarves, or rolled up towels if you get one. We don't even need this. So you might not even use your prop. You might just have a bent knee the whole time. So if you don't want to use this can actually be more challenging for our balance. Kind of gets us all jumbled up, but it could be a fun tool to use as well. Got it. So once we got our straps, we're going to come back into our nice safe space. So not many obstacles around us. We're going to bring the insides of the feet and legs to touch. And bandhas are really going to help here. So that pelvic floor pulling in and up, Uddiyana Bandha pulling in and up. Squeeze your hips together. So a lot of core work in this pose. From here, hover your right heel up. It might help to bring your hands under your hips. We want our pelvis to stay nice and level the whole time. We're going to squeeze these muscles here and float our right knee up. Now the right foot also needs to be active, so it's not a dead fish hanging out down there. Pull those toes up to your shin bone. Just this is a lot, and this might be where we stay today. If you want additional help, take a hold of your knee with the right hand. Stay against your invisible wall. If you're near a wall, you're always welcome to use the assistance of a wall or a chair if you have it. You can even place your foot up on a chair and then lightly, or a piece of furniture, just lightly try to lift and lower it. Okay, so there's always a way to do the pose for our body. And I'm talking, but we're still balancing and breathing. There's a lot to this pose, I know. So if you need to take a break, take a break. If you come out of it, you just come back to it. Next option, we bring the strap under the ball of the foot. We hold the strap in our right hand to the inside of the knee. Belly's in, I'm still tall. Do not pull your right shoulder forward. Fuller option, extend the foot straight forward. The arm is straight, the shoulders are back. Still breathing. Next variation, whether your knee is bent, whether you have the strap or not, open the leg out to the right. So this can be like our Captain Morgan stance, I guess, if we know what that is. You can also try to straighten the leg out. Oh, I'm using my wall. I'm using my strap. I don't like it. I'm coming back. Left arm can reach out. Palm faces forward. The next challenge is to look to that left thumb. Big breath in. We're still balancing. Come back to it. Exhale. Look forward. Knee forward. Left hand to hip. If you have the strap, let it go. You can bring it out to the side. Extend the leg down towards the ground or try to lift it up. Point the toe and hold for 3. Belly in. 2. Don't lean back. 1. Exhale. Float the arms. Pause and breathe. Check in. Other side. Pull the belly in. Hands to hips. Float that left heel up. Squeeze your muscles. Lift the left knee up. The toes are up. Super strong. Locked out. Nobody could come push your leg down if they tried. Use your chair if you need or the wall. No problem. Hands to knee if you want to help hold that knee up. Or hook that belt under the arch of the foot, hold on to it. Do not pull your left shoulder forward, pull it back. You're still standing against your invisible wall. You may try to extend the leg forward, but the upper body should not move, should not be affected. Next inhale is going to open the leg out. We're still facing forward. You're squeezing the outer thigh and buttock to open the leg, toes up. You may try to straighten that leg out. Right arm can reach out, palm forward, thumb up. Next challenge is to breathe and turn your drishti to the thumb. One more big breath in. Exhale, head, knee, hand back to hip. We're going to try to extend the leg or lift it up, hip height, point the toe, and hold for 3, 2, belly's in, 1, lower, hover the arms, take a breath. Inhale, reach wide, reach overhead, big stretch, even look upwards. Exhale, palms touch, hands to heart. So we're going to make a shift and go into another standing posture. Parsvottanasana, sometimes called pyramid pose. We've been doing this one as well. So if you have yoga blocks, you'll place your yoga blocks to the front of your yoga mat. Or you can have a chair or another prop of some sort. So this is a big stretch for the backs of our legs, one at a time. It strengthens our core as well. For some of us, it'll turn back into an inversion. So I'll give us a moment here to reorganize. And then we'll face back towards the front of our mat with our props. Now keep your feet hips width apart. So open your feet back a few inches. We want that space between our feet. We're not standing on a tightrope in this pose. Bring your hands onto your hips. Stand tall. Right foot steps back, not a full lunge, just a couple feet. The heel will anchor down and turn slightly in. So there's a little angle in this back foot. Don't jam your kneecaps back, unlock them, but they're straight. Right hip forward, left hip back. We want to keep our low back and hips level the whole time. Open the heart. You can pull your shoulder blades together, but don't hyperextend the low back. Core in. Inhale. Exhale, movement is at the hips. There's no rounding of the spine. The head isn't dropping. I'm moving, hinging here. Pelvis over the hips. I can come down a little bit. I immediately feel the stretch. I have really tight hamstrings and hips. So I already feel this. The breath will take you into the pose wherever you're able to go today. You start to bring your fingertips towards your props. You can bring your drishti down. Give those muscles time to stretch. Those of you going further down, maybe even fingertips to the floor, that's fine. Bring your drishti to your left big toe. And those of you that your belly's on your thighs or near it and you're upside down, bring your drishti to your left knee, tuck your chin to your chest. You can apply Jalandhara Bandha, throat lock, and you can try to bring your forehead to your knee. And you may bend that left knee a little bit as well. Take a couple deep breaths here. Next inhale, we'll come halfway up, halfway lift. So you bring your fingertips forward, iron out your back, try to lift your chest. You should have nice strong legs. It's okay if you bend into the knees a little bit. Power through your feet into the floor, pull the belly in. Exhale one hand at a time to those hips. And then inhale, press off that front foot to come up. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Arms float down, focus the drishti on one spot, pause and breathe. . Inhale, reach wide and up to the ceiling. Exhale, turn your palms back down, float the arms back down to the hips. Keep your hips level and square, left foot steps back. Again, not a really big lunge, about 2 feet. Angle that left heel in slightly, left hip forward, right hip back. Keep your hips square to the front of your mat. Open your heart, but keep your front body pulled to your back bundee. Unlock those knees. Inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips. There should be no rounding in the back. Good. Good. Nice strong legs. Pull your belly in. This side's even tighter for me, so I already feel that big stretch of the back of the right leg. Your breath will guide you. Fingertips to chair, to props, blocks, or floor, if we're there. Drishti straight down into the tip of the nose. Maybe to that right big toe. And those of you that have gone into the inversion part, you walk your hands back more, belly towards the thigh. You may look at your right knee and then add throat lock, Chaturanga Bandha, chin to chest, pressing your forehead into your knee, knee to your forehead. We'll all take a couple more breaths. Next inhale is a halfway lift. Fingertips walk back forward. Use your props. Equal weight in the feet. Pick up your toes as needed. Micro bend those knees. Pull the belly in. Exhale, one hand at a time to your hips. Strong legs, strong core. Press off that front foot. Inhale up through the crown of the head. Exhale, steps forward. Hover the arms down. Focus the drishti. Observe the body and the breath. Inhale, turn your palms out, reach out, all the way up. Lots of extension here. Bring those palms together. Exhale, hands in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. All right, y'all, let's make another adjustment. So if we do have props around us, we can move them out of the way at this point. We'll come back to the top of our mat. And stand nice and tall in mountain pose. Big breath in, reach wide, reach overhead. Look up to those thumbs for a gentle back bend. On the exhale, we'll bend our knees, we'll hinge from our hips. Swan diving the arms back, around and down into our Uttanasana. Let's hang out here for a breath or two, give our back a big stretch. Try to release the head, neck, and shoulders, modify as needed. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Try to switch up which foot you use first. Take a big step back into plank position. Again, you're always welcome to hold your plank, a resting pose, or we'll take a vinyasa. Keep your core in. Drop to the knees first if needed. Exhale, elbows bend back and in. Don't flare your elbows out. Lower all the way down. Chin forward, point the toes, strong back. Inhale, Bhujangasana, lift the hands if we want more. Exhale, come all the way back down, tuck the toes and the tail. Pull that inner belly in. Elbows stay in, push up. Kneeling or full plank. Exhale, resting pose. Down dog, all fours, or child's pose. Just breathe. My down dog people, inhale, lift your heels up. On our exhale, drop the knees to the ground and together. If possible, point the toes. Let's sit back in our traditional child's pose, sweeping the hands to our feet, dropping the head to the ground, And just allowing the weight of the arms to fall down towards the ground. One more breath here. Hands under the shoulders, tuck the chin. Let's bring it all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Shift over to either hip and bring those feet forward. So we are going to come down onto our backs at this point, but I want us to have our strap nearby. We're going to go through our Supta Padangusthasana, which is very similar to Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, the standing balancing pose we did. This will stretch our hamstrings, which will help our backs and our posture, and also give us a twist in the inner thigh growing muscle stretch. So have your strap nearby. Have space behind you. You may come to the side and walk yourself down safely. We may also use those strong muscles that we're building up. Planting the soles of the feet, let your knees fall open wider than the hips. Reach those fingertips forward and try to round out. Good. Squeeze. Oh. Once we all come down to the ground, arms overhead, straighten the legs out down the middle of the mat. Take your long body stretch. Point and flex the feet a couple times, spread the fingers and toes, move a little bit side to side. Just create a lot of space in our body here. Big breath in. Exhale, float the arms down. Walk the feet in. Pull the belly in and hug the knees in. Let's give our back a little rock side to side. Bring those feet to the floor. Take a hold of the strap. We're going to bring it around the lower arch of the foot and extend the foot straight up to the ceiling here. I've talked about this before. You can use different placements of the hands. I personally like to have my arms straight. I walk my hands up a little higher so my shoulders are kind of floating from the floor, and then wrap the strap around my hands so they're kind of locked into place. We are trying to straighten out that leg, so really open up the eye of the knee, press your thigh bone forward, heel up. Now slide the left heel forward. That left foot is just as active. Press the whole left leg into the ground. The low back and the hips stay grounded. If we're able to guide the right leg closer towards our torso, you may do so. Take one more full breath. Take the strap in the right hand, place the left hand on top of the left hip. Keep your left side anchored to the floor. Open the right leg out to the right. We might need to bend our right knee first. We want that thigh bone angling upwards. Drop the right elbow out. Keep tension on the strap. Left side down, left side down. Big stretch, inner thigh, groin muscle. Shoulders are grounded. From here, left arm extends out, turn the head to the left, take a couple deep breaths. Next inhale, look up, help the leg up. Bring your left hand onto the strap. Keep your right hip down to start, so the hips and the back is flat to the floor. Try to angle your straight leg across your midline just a few degrees. We're trying to get into the IT band here. Move the leg around in space till you feel that really nice deep stretch. Left leg should still be active. Taking it into a twist will allow the hip to come up, the leg to cross over. Use your left elbow as a kickstand. Right arm out, head turns to the right. Close the eyes even and just take a couple deep breaths. Swing everything out. The exhale carries everything away. Our next inhale will bring the head and the leg back up. Stay here for a moment. Open the strap back up. We want to hold the strap in both hands always. Keep that leg as straight as possible. We may try to hover the head and the shoulders up. Now, some of you will be able to get your forehead towards your nose a little bit more than us, and that's fine. You can go there. Big stretch for the back of the leg. Take one more big breath in. Now on the exhale, we'll release the head down. Now what I want us to try to do is to keep your right leg straight. Don't bend the right knee. Keep it straight. Just slide the strap off. With the core, lower the right leg straight all the way down to the ground. Bring the arms down beside the body. Pause and reflect and feel. We probably feel our right side is 2 inches longer than the left. Just notice that opening that we created. And then pull the belly in, walk the feet in. Hug the knees in. Give that back a little. Massage side to side. Drop the feet to the floor. Bend the left knee in. Hook that strap under the arch, the lower arch closer to the heel. Find your hand placement. Everything matters. Be mindful in our movements. Straighten that left leg as much as possible. Press the thigh bone forward. Heel up. Slide that right heel forward. Anchor the whole right leg to the ground. It's super strong. Those toes are pulling into the right shin bone. Now spread that awareness to the back of the left leg. Big hamstring stretch. Take a couple breaths. Left hand holds onto the strap, right hand on top of the right hip. Keep your right hip down, hips and back flat to the floor. We may bend our left knee so we can get our thigh bone angled upwards towards the torso more. Bend the left elbow out, keep tension on the strap, open the left leg out. Right side down. And then you can try to straighten that left leg out. Both feet should be actively flexing. Right arm out, head turns to the right, couple deep breaths. Next inhale brings the head and the leg up. Right hand holds on. Keep your left hip down, hips and low back still flat to the floor. Taking that straight leg across our midline a few degrees, trying to get into that outer hip, outer thigh tissue. Move it around as needed, massage. Taking it into the twist, let the hip come up, right elbow anchors. The foot isn't necessarily going to touch the ground, probably not. Keep your shoulders down, left shoulder down, left arm out, head turns to the left. Breathe deeply. Use that exhale to carry away and take away any stress, any tension, any worries. Wring it all out, let it go. Our next inhale will bring the head and the leg back up. Same thing, when you come back up, keep the leg straight. Do not bend your left knee if you can. Slide the belt off the foot. Use your core and try to lower the straight left leg all the way down to the ground. Open the arms up beside the body. Pause, reflect, observe, and breathe. So it is time to move into our final resting place, Shavasana, corpse pose. Now, if you want to roll to the side or you feel like you need to wiggle something out before you relax, do so. Pillows, blankets, eye coverings, anything that we want to bring into this pose. This is a posture we practice. We're not just lying on the ground, not doing anything. We are practicing this pose, just like we practiced every other pose most important pose of our practice. So we got to make sure we do it mindfully. Add layers, socks, coverings, whatever we need to. I'll guide us through a little bit of relaxation. We'll take a couple moments of peace and quiet, and then we will come up to finish our practice. So place your body in position. Try to find as much symmetry in your body, side to side, front to back. Rock the head out, find the very back center of the skull. Poof the cheeks, yawn, wiggle out the mouth, tongue, and jaw as needed. Feel the weight in the limbs, heavy shoulders, elbows, backs of the hands. The fingertips curl up naturally. Notice the energy in the centers of the palms. Heavy legs from the hips to the knees, knees to the ankles. Let those feet flop and relax open. Relax the toes, the space between the toes. Notice the energy, the soles of the feet. Relax down the back, vertebra by vertebra. Soften the back of the heart. Let the low back sink into the ground. Relax the large muscles of the buttocks, the hips. Relax the front of the body, softening the chest and the heart. Relax the belly completely, the abdominal muscles, the internal organs. Notice a gentle rise and fall of the belly with the breath. Relax all the little muscles across the face, smoothing the forehead, the brow. Relax the eyebrow center. Notice the gentle breath around the nostrils, the tip of the nose. The breath is easy, calm, quiet. If the mind wanders, we may gently bring it back to the peaceful breath. We may mentally repeat a mantra over and over again as we take just one more moment of our morning to let go, to relax, to simply be and breathe. We'll start to slowly come back to the rhythm of our breath here. And start to breathe life back through the body, waking up our toes, the fingertips. Give the head a rock side to side, roll the ankles and the wrists. Next inhale, can stretch those arms back overhead one more time. Reaching through the right side, left side. Flex the feet, spread the fingers and the toes. Big breath in. The exhale floats those arms down, walking the feet in. Hugging those knees in, depending where we are, if we're elevated or propped up, just move accordingly. Right arm falls beside the head. We'll roll ourselves all the way over onto our side in our fetal position, sleeping baby, Supta Balasana. Cradle the head on the arm. We can set a mental positive intention or mantra to take with us today. Continuing to practice our yoga throughout our day. Now keep those eyes soft or closed, press down into the ground, and we'll slowly bring the body back up, visiting any comfortable seated position. Sit up nice and tall on those sit bones. Being mindful of our surroundings, float the arms out beside the body. Turn the palms up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in and reach those arms all the way up, and let's gather up everything we need for the rest of our day. Turning the palms back out, exhale, float those arms all the way back down to the ground. And again, inhale, big reach up. This time bring the palms to touch and exhale the hands to the heart center. We'll humbly bow our head down to our heart to honor and thank ourselves, our bodies, each other, and remembering to be grateful and thankful to anyone else that made it possible for us to practice our yoga together today. If you'd like to join me in chanting the Om Shanti mantra, feel free to do so. Otherwise, just sit with your breath for a moment. Taking a big breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. And I thank you all so much for being here this morning. I had my little doggy friends join us at the end. This is Margie. She's so cute.